Nothing but the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. Today we're here to find the facts on this 1966 Dodge Polara Highway Patrol car. Stay tuned. Today, in the garage. Hey, this is Steve, and today I'm at the Ironstone Concourse Elegance in beautiful Murphys, California. And walking in, the first thing I see is this highway patrol car. And it's not just an ordinary highway patrol car, it's a 1966 Dodge Polara. And it's just an incredible car. And Walt, tell me a little bit about this car. What is the organization that owns this car? It's the CHP Museum?
It is a CHP Museum. It's located at the CHP Academy in West Sacramento. We have 14 different cars.
Oh, wow.
With the oldest one being a 1922 Hupmobile.
Wow.
And the latest one, a 2011 Crown Victoria, one of the last that came off the line. So,
was this an original CHP car that you rescued?
It was. It was restored by a deputy in San Mateo, and eventually the museum bought it.
Wow, that's fantastic. And what I know, these cars are pretty fast, and some of them have big engines, some of them don't. What's under the hood of this guy?
This has a rare engine. It's a 426 Street Wedge.
Wow.
375 horses. It's fast. It sounds like a very good car. Engine sound is there. It rumbles. It's a very nice car. And
Yeah.
as well.
I remember, I'm glad it's not in my rearview mirror today. Because it's hard to get away from this one. But it's such a neat car, and you have all the original and correct looking radios and other equipment. What special equipment does this car carry that the average car doesn't have?
Well, of course, a radio, but it has a siren, a very old-time siren that we call it a growler. It's not electronic, so it's mechanical. It has, of course, heavier suspension and radiators, heavy duty, that kind of stuff.
Wow.
Better brakes, those kind of things.
And so they use Dodge. I know CHP switched brands sometimes. How long did they use Dodge for in this period? Do you know?
Well, at least until the mid-'70s, but it depends who gets the bid. It's always low bid.
Yeah.
So it goes back and forth between Dodges and Ford, and
Yeah.
so there's no predicting who's going to be next.
Yeah, I remember
As long as they meet the performance standards.
Yeah, I remember in the '70s. I think it was Dodge St. Regis. I remember those, and or Monacos maybe.
Well, the Monacos, early '70s, mid '70s, they were 440s. The Diplomat you mentioned, they were in the early '80s. They were 318s, and they were dogs, really.
Yeah. Well, one of those Diplomats pulled me over. I know that. A CHP pulled me over. When I was a kid, going too fast, but
On a bicycle, probably.
but he caught me.
Yes, good.
Of course, I didn't try to outrun him, but but that's just it. This is so great to see this, and this piece of great history preserved, because there can't be a lot of these cars around. I mean, imagine a lot of them were cannibalized for their big engines and so forth early on.
That's correct, and especially that 426 road wedge is a very rare engine.
Yeah.
So you probably don't find a whole lot of those around. There are a few of these 66s around, but not with that engine. They usually go to the 440s.
Yeah.
They're easier to come by, and parts are cheaper, and that kind of thing.
Is there any data on how many were produced? Like for 66, it got to be just a handful.
I have no idea.
Well, all we know is it's really, really rare.
It is.
So if people wanted to see the rest of the collection, where would they go, and how would they get a hold of the museum?
The CHP Museum is located at the CHP Academy in West Sacramento. You can contact the
Museum?
Academy,
Uh-huh.
and because it is a restricted access campus, so
Sure.
someone has to be there to accompany them. Or you can contact the museum at chpmuseum at gmail.com.
Oh, okay. So you have more than just car. You have many cars, or how many cars do you have there?
We have 14 cars, but we also have motorcycles, Motor Guzzi, BMWs, Harleys, bicycles.
Wow.
So we have a pretty good arrangement, range of vehicles there. What we're looking for are original cars from the 40s or 50s that are restored or are restorable, because we're having a gap between 1930 and 1960.
Oh, okay.
So anyone who has anything like that sitting in the garage, we'd love to have it.
Yeah, hear that, folks. If you have one of these cars, if you have an old CHP car from that period, please contact the museum, and they're a potential buyer for one. Be great to add to the collection. And you have other memorabilia too, not just vehicles.
Yes, we do. Badges, Thompson machine guns, uniforms, weapons, all kinds of weapons.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, definitely got to make it. I got to make a stop there at some point.
Yeah, just you know where to find me.
Right. That's wonderful. I've seen you've brought other vintage police cars here in the past to Ironstone. And it's always in the same spot. I always look for it. And I hadn't seen this one before. It just really caught my eye. It's a great car with a fantastic engine. Thanks so much for talking with us today.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
Okay. Well, that's our look at not from the rearview mirror of a CHP car from 1966. What a great opportunity to look at this car. And just had to share it with you guys. It's really, really cool. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time in the garage.